This last 4 years. I'm afraid a lot of it, we parents might not know what happened.
We don't want to know. We don't want you to know.
But we want to know. We really, really want to. Parents were free after tomorrow.
Some of them are.
Some of us.
Some of
Yeah,
us.
some are.
Some of
Whose
us.
shirt's that?
Where's Mr. Steele?
Okay, Dies are here. Tran, Sam, Steele, me, Dom. Where's Dom?
Check the basketball.
Hirsches are here. Boydens are
I
here.
want to get Dr. Steele.
And Houstons are here, correct? So I think we have a really, really good turnout.
Eric, whose shirt do you have on?
I wondered that too.
Nick Casper.
You name
Okay.
it, and then I'll talk for a little bit, and then we'll get into the nitty gritty. And so, just my parents are here. It's my dad, Ron Steele, in the blue blazer. My mom to the left, to his right, Katie.
Very talkative.
Dom. My parents are here, Liz and Bob Dom, and my brother and his wife should be in shortly. Chris and Margaret, so we see some random people
Randy was introduced today as Randy at graduation.
in front of 589 others.
Randy did.
Who did that?
Dr.
Provost.
Provost DeLillo.
That was cute.
Okay, Dave Hirsch. Making up this couch right here is Paula Bulldog, my stepmother, Jim Hirsch, my father, Kathy Sutton, my girlfriend, and my mom, Crane Anderson. Thanks.
I'm Justin Dye. This is my dad, Matt Dye. My cousin, Nate Stewart. My girlfriend, Kate Ridgely. And my mother, Kathy Dye. It's kind of a...
Freudian.
Hey!
Chad Houston, this is my mom and dad, Ed and Mary Jane Houston. I have 3 brothers. 2 of them should be here tomorrow. You'll probably see them around. The other one's down in Mexico on his honeymoon, and hopefully they'll come back.
I'm John Boyden. My parents are Jane and Dick. My father is here right now. My mother had to take off to go back home. Also, my grandmother Lee is here.
She's the
And,
bravest one.
my best friend from high school I graduated with, Thad Sargent. My sister Cindy will be here tomorrow.
My name is Stephen Turan. And
The Toronto money name.
my mom, Kathy, is here. My father, Thomas. My younger sister, Valerie, who will be entering DePaul next fall.
Oh, we're sorry.
And my girlfriend, Erica Lee Taylor, is also on the couch. All right, the plans are this evening is, I don't know if we should start with Steve.
A couple
Else
pages.
up here.
We're just going to kind of chip in with stories that we remember about the stupid things Eric's done in his past here at DePaul. The theme of Eric's thing is pretty much donutisms.
What's a donut?
What's a donut?
He is donut because from his freshman year, he weighed, how much did you weigh, Eric?
142.
He weighed 142. He came back sophomore year and he was sporting about 205. One of the upperclassmen referred to him as looking like a donut, and it stuck.
But as Mrs. Sam said, it's not because I don't like, she thought I actually like to eat donuts.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, it's not
always said
nothing to do with it. In fact,
Never.
I hate donuts. But, everything else I eat, yes. Donuts, no.
All right,
Donutism.
donut. Does everyone know what a mash is? Jimmy Schleter, get up here. Jimmy Schleter! Get up here!
Lady, you're up. You're in it. We got
You're up here. You're up here. This is one of our Flesh brothers.
Go on around, Slater.
You're in trouble, bro.
Jim unfortunately left us sophomore year, freshman year? Sophomore. After sophomore year. Went to IU, the big school.
Greener pastures, the Hoosiers.
But he's back now.
We've got, does everyone know what a mash list is? Or a mash? It's basically when you make out with a girl. And so in this case, we have best mashes, people that were pretty cute, and worst mashes who, well,
Not pretty cute.
okay. And we also have the individual's best characteristics, and of course, he has a lot of bad ones. So we will talk about that. Bad ones, yeah. His best mash was Kathy Ashton. And Eric, would you like to elaborate on that? Or just kind of-
Kathy was.
Just kidding. No, just kidding. Just kidding. No.
She was the first girl I met
You're
at
in the
DePaul.
chair. You
She
gotta
was
be
the first
quiet.
girl I met at DePaul. You just shut up.
And she's just outside the door. Come on in.
This is your life, right?
You're alive.
And his second best mash was his good friend from Ball State on Valentine's Day. Well, she was a dandy, Eric. And his worst mash, it's going to be a kind of a repetitive theme, is Steph Roberts. His best characteristic is he's fairly easygoing. People seem to like Eric for some reason.
He rolls like a donut.
His worst characteristic is he's a lying braggart. And I will let Steve Turan carry on with some of the other things.
Justin and I went back to Winslow the other day, and on the drive home for 2 hours, we routed off all these tall tales that Eric has come up with, and these interesting experiences that have happened to Eric. He's got a case of multiple personalities. As we all know, he dabbles in a little bit of everything, not too in-depth, but gets his feet wet in about every little subject. We've got the Australian donut. Just sophomore year, all of us were talking about going off campus. And Eric guaranteed that he was going to be in Australia, studying off campus, reprogramming the computers for Australia. And this never materialized.
Why?
Grades.
You're right.
Okay. I've been told to speed this up a little bit, but we're just going to say that donut has many identities. There's the Boca donut down in Florida. You have a Chicago donut. You have a bartender donut. You've got Donut the Lover. You've got the headband donut for intramural sports. You've got the backpacking donut. And there's an avalanche story where you single-handedly caused an avalanche in Yosemite. You've got the computer donut. As we all know, he fixes all the computers in the house and at other sororities and fraternities. You have the serious donut. When he talks on the phone, his voice drops down about 3 octaves.
Especially when he's talking to interviewers. Hi, this is Eric Meese. I'm just calling to wonder if the opportunities at your company are so good.
We're trying to get a date, right?
He doesn't have any of those. It's true.
The no date donut.
Okay. All right, we've got the high school god donut. He's full of stories about his high school, Adams Central.
That's when he's skinny.
Yeah, right.
On his car freshman year, he had a tassel from his high school. We've got the Stanford donut. How he turned down Stanford to attend DePaul.
Is that a true story? Did he get into Stanford, or is that just another blatant?
Another, I think.
That's what.
I'll tell you what, he did not know till April or May, right before graduation from high school, where he was going to go for sure. He had not he had not made up his mind. He really did not know.
We'll talk later.
And every semester we have a formal, and Eric always invites the hottest girl that he can to this formal, and ends up hitting on everybody else's dates at the formal. And he wonders why his dates never go out with him twice.
Also, this includes talking to all the hotel people who work there, inviting them to the party later.
I.e. the bartender in my room.
Okay. Donut's also full of tall tales. We've got stories about hot springs, about Belize, about him playing a professional wooden bat baseball league.
This summer.
This summer. We've got the Spelunkin donut, going in caves, going underground. We've got the fishing donut. We've got the chef donut. He grows out in the sun deck all by himself, makes all these little Casey masterpieces. You got the $75,000 donut. He guaranteed us he'd be making $75,000 if he graduated. We've got the CIA donut. We've got the IFC donut, the odometer donut.
Tell the story.
This is a story that warrants elaboration.
Tell it.
Okay,
We have
Eric,
law enforcement people in here doing it.
Good.
a resale value for his car.
Things you didn't know.
Policeman donut.
Yeah.
Stock bun.
Yeah.
Stock bun donut.
We've got the junk bond donut, the OIT donut, the Columbus donut. We've got the chocolate donut. Last semester we roomed with Todd Williams, and Todd loves to listen to rap music. And after he left, Eric couldn't handle it, and he went out and bought a Tupac CD and listens to rap now.
See, they won't.
We've got the Italian donut. We've got the Vane donut, who single-handedly has broken 2 mirrors in the past 2 months.
Yes.
Ask the mirror in our bathroom.
7-foot mirror.
Enormous
Or
mirror.
in stick.
Yeah, we've got the ESPN2 donut. We've got the Surfing donut, who was on the cover of Surfing Illustrated or something like that. And we've got Donut the Pilot. We've got the Bowling God donut, the Scuba donut, Aristotle the donut with a minor in philosophy.
Dr. Lemos.
We've got the Sailing donut, the Camping donut, and last but not least, the I Love Chicago donut.
What about the Prussian King donut? What about the Prussian King donut?
We've got Misowski, the Prussian King donut, whose ancestry goes back.
Hirsch, you're next. You're next.
Yeah.
You're next.
I think that's about all for me, unless anything else.
Who's next? Hirsch.
Very, very, very fast. When I say fast, like less than a second. Worst, Dave has a odor problem. Excluding girlfriends, of course, his best match was Susette Bible. No, just kidding. That's Jimmy's girlfriend. There really wasn't a great match. Maybe Phil Sparkman, freshman year or something. Worst match had to be Karen Curley. Dave has a couple of famous sayings. The one that probably sticks out in all our minds is, "Let's get wasted, let's get naked." Except he says it in a real high-pitched voice.
Say it,
Come on.
Come on.
You wasted.
4 years.
Freshman year, we're all talking. One of our good friends, one of our great friends, he and his girlfriend, he got his girlfriend pregnant and had to get married. And we're all discussing this, such a bad situation. We're all really upset about it. And Dave comes in, doesn't really say a word. He's been out. And comes in, and we're all kind of hanging our heads or whatever, and we're all bummed. We're all about ready to start crying and stuff. And Dave comes in, just kind of strips down his boxers, jumps into bed, doesn't say a word to anyone, pulls the covers over his head and whatever. And then we're talking about this thing. We're all upset, and he says, "Unfathomable." And then just turns back over and doesn't say a word. And we're all like, what? First of all, we had to look it up. His famous toast.
There's a few more to add.
Okay. Also, Dave has a subcutaneous cyst on his chest, and that he's very proud of. And when anyone ever asks him about it, he's quick to tell you about it. That was
Another word they had to look up. Next.
I'm gonna let Jimmy leave you with Dave's famous toast.
Ever since I've known Dave, which was probably the second day that I got here to Paw, we started saying this toast, and well, actually it was Dave's toast, and he taught it to us one night. It was the third day, I think, of school. We didn't know what we were going to do that night, but we all wanted to drink because we just got down here and we're freshmen in college. And Dave says, "Well, I've got these 3 bottles of alcohol in my suitcase that I've hidden from my mom." So he pulls them out, and we start drinking these bottles of alcohol. And Dave's
Well, that thing is, people don't learn it. They don't learn it that whole night. We'll never get it. But then the next morning, when they wake up with a hangover, they know it like the back of their hand. We'll never forget it again. So I'll make them lose it.
Here's to it.
Here's to it again.
If you never get to it and don't do it, may you never get to it to do it again.
You know, so you all learn it. Tough, and he can't study unless he has a deadline that is 1 hour away. You know that. And the last but not least, he's easily nicknamed. Is there a story behind that? And I have one more about Randy. Good. And we slept in the same cold dorm together, which is the communal dorms upstairs. And Randy and I were on the same dream waves or something, I don't know. But we would both completely freak out in the middle of the night and like attack each other in our sleeps. And he would run at my place and jump over my bed and I'd start screaming at him. And then we wake up the next morning like, was that real or was that a dream? I'm like, I don't know. And it would just go on like it was another day, but we had some very strange dreams in that place. All right, who's next? John Boyden. Johnny B. Boyden, fellow computer science major, and so we kind of hung out for a while. All right, we're going to go with the matches, the best. Gwen Johnson, who I think a few of you met earlier. Gwen, yes. The girl you liked, Gwen. And worst, again, the infamous Steph Roberts.
Who is this girl?
Really,
You'll hear it a few more times today.
Hey, really, you can watch her walk across the stage tomorrow.
And as far as the best characteristic goes, John is one of those guys that's very caring. Go with him with anything, he's very caring. And another thing is big pecs. So,
Big guns.
and monkey boy. I don't know what that is. It's monkey boy. I don't know. They told me. Well, and bad characteristics. Not just. I'm sorry, John.
Here it comes.
I'm sorry.
I know what's coming.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
No.
Yeah, we want to hear it.
I can't.
It's gotta be natural. I
even-
can't produce
You'll hear
it.
it throughout the night, and it'll stick with you for your life. All right, Boyden. A lot of us have become very good friends with other females on campus, like a few here and there. John knows the whole DZ house. Every single person in there, he's a DZ group. He goes by, they all rattle off his name. He rattles off all the names. Freshman year had mono. You want to talk? Yeah. Well, freshman year, none of us knew it. We didn't even know he was in our pledge class because he had mono. And his room was condemned. He had a girlfriend then that strapped off his room with the police tape so no one would go in there. And he stayed there for 2 weeks. No one knew who this kid was. And he came in there. He was like, John Boyden. Kid. So, but he has another story from freshman.
I have a story about John dating back to our help week, which is our initiation week. And I had the privilege of sleeping next to John in a bunk bed. We shared the same bunk.
I used to room with him. I know about this.
And we would get woken up in the morning with pots and pans. And John would wake up right before the pots and pans came in screaming. And that scared me more than the wake up. Do the scream for it. I can't do that.
No, I can't.
Really high.
Every time you start raving fear, I mean terror.
You can't be talking. All right. And
And by the end of Help Week, he was voted MVP Most Valuable Pledge.
And that kind of has a lot to do with his being a complete stress case. You should be enlisted in Charter Center for his stress. For grades, women, and he worships the older football players. This house used to have a lot of football players. And he idolized the ground that Zimfer, Comer, Rico. Zimfer. He worshipped the ground these older football players walked on. And another thing, and Don. Spring break. This is going to be an interesting.
Spring break, credit cards, movies, and dance halls for John Boyden, baby.
That's all we're going to say. You put them all together. And go with it from there. His first spring break, and hopefully his last.
Yes.
Thank God only spring break happened to him one time. The pusher, the little five. He
he was a pusher for Little Five, and if you've ever been here for Little Five, we're both DZ and ATO. You know, the riders have to ride, but the pushers, every person that goes out, they have to push. He put more work into Little Five than our whole team combined, I know. And probably all of DZ's team combined. And like we said, best characters, John Boyden. Oh, yes.
Okay, I'll do this one.
This is the last
Four of
story.
us get together a couple times a week. We play the game of hearts. The
Steve,
loser,
myself, Di, and John.
and the loser has to wear this big, nasty hat. It says Garst on it. It's got Garst seed corn on it. It's about this high, this wide. It comes down over your ears. It's neon orange and mesh. And John always happens to lose, and he has to wear the hat out to the bar or to class.
I've lost twice. That's it. I won once.
That's about it for Johnny.
Okay.
Best characteristic, he's so lovable. Everyone who ever meets this guy just falls in love with him and have nothing but good things to say and makes you want to puke. Except for this evening. Except for this evening, that's right. His worst characteristic is anytime we go out and we've had a few beers, he gets very, 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 very emotional. And he, you know, he gets this syndrome that, no, I love you, man. No, I love you. I love you. No, I really love you. And we end up hugging and kissing, and God knows what people think of it.
And it all started our first informal freshman year hayride. We're on the hayride, you know, out in the dark, all these little couples hooking up together, and it's me, I think, Justin, were you there?
No, I wasn't
It
there.
was Hirsch, were you there?
You were a 5-second.
Me, Hirsch, Schlater sitting on the edge, and he loses it. He's transferring, he's not worth anything in the world, his life is nothing, he has no friends, his brother's better than him, and the whole world hit rock bottom for Jim Schlater. And he jumped off that thing and was going to run back to DePaul University. And we were 40 miles, not even close, in the middle of some neighborhood. And he just goes, I love you guys, it's nothing about you guys, but I love you. So he started running.
How many beers?
And we caught up. He didn't leave us for 2 more years.
Okay. You were going to tell about the dirt story in I Week.
During Hell Week, or Help Week as it's supposed to be. Help. Jimmy and I got we had to go outside and work because, I don't know, we must have screwed up in here and no one liked us. And they're like, put them back in the weeds. So we had to plant these shrubs. You really can't see them through all the weeds anymore. But over in the side yard, we had to plant all these things. And I'm out there, I'm really mad because I was very bitter at ATO for making me work and telling me to do this and do this. So I had this machete, and I was going to town. And I'm looking for Schlater because he's supposed to be helping me. Next thing I know, Jim is in this hole trying to plant this tree, and he has mud from here all the way down. He's got worms crawling on him, and he was loving it. And he went talking, and just kept on packing the mud. And so we gave him the nickname Dirt because that's all. He just lived in the dirt for the next 2 days because that's the only job he liked.
You got to remember Eric's characteristics, though.
Exactly.
The worms. I mean, come on, exaggeration.
Jimmy's
a good story. Yeah. All of your stories are good stories.
Eric embellishes a lot.
I'll never tell a bad story.
I said Eric embellishes a lot.
Tell us the truth in advance.
Jimmy and I have been best friends for a long time right now, but I don't know if you guys know scents. Sometimes scents remind you of old girlfriends or people you used to know.
Scents.
Yeah,
Oh,
scents.
fragrances, odors.
He
Okay.
doesn't carry around pennies, but he's got. Jim doesn't have a sense of smell, so he put on cologne to make sure that he smelled all right for all the women that he's trying to.
Not a bad sense, just no sense.
But so he put on eternity cologne. Probably about 3 bottles per dose. And he put it on his towels, on his clothes, on his chest, under his arms, you name it. So every time I smell eternity cologne from across the room, Jim Schlater's face pops my mind.
One time, Jimmy, his freshman year here, got some beer muscles when he was out that night. And this crazy psycho middle linebacker that we had, he was here for 5 years, meanest guy that ever stepped foot on this campus. Well, he was like over to party at one of the other houses, and he's bumping into people and like moving them. And giving him bad looks, and Jimmy's like, who is this guy? It was really dark. He didn't really know who it was. So Jimmy gets this big idea. He's going to take this guy outside and show him what it's all about. So Jimmy, he's talking or whatever, and he's really confronting this guy. So we finally get Jimmy out the back door so the guy doesn't see him or whatever. We finally tell him who it was, and he basically just starts running.
We're gonna get this Kappa story.
I think one of the reasons why Jimmy transferred was because he lived with me sophomore year. Combined, the two of us put on about 60 to 70 pounds that year. And we were not the svelte men you see in front of you right now. But, we kept Marvin in business that year, put it that way. But Jimmy's done a really good job, and he's quite the man now. Hourglass figure.
One of my favorite stories of Jim is with Amy Booth.
Don't say it.
Carl Booth. She's a really nice girl. I mean, well, some people think she's nice, some people think she's very big. He told this girl, I mean, just a girl, didn't say anything, was just, you don't want me to say this, do you? Come on, Jim. He went up to this girl, out of nowhere.
Let me fill it in. All right. This girl is, I don't know. I mean, some people have good relationships with her, some people don't. Jimmy is very, very blunt with people. He either likes you or he doesn't like you, and he's flat up, and he tells you whether he does or he doesn't. In this instance, he basically told her he didn't like her and what she was all about, and she was appalled, and Jimmy's like...
Jimmy goes, you don't believe in God. You're the fakest girl I've ever met. Flat out, no road, that was it. That's exactly what he said to her. There's a lot more to it.
All right, go, Jimmy.
All right. That's all we got for Jimmy. Everyone else knows her name. Her name's Oops. She's a good-looking girl.
What is her name?
And his other...
Theta.
What is she?
Theta.
She's from Evansville. She is another great match was Janet Tennyson. His worst mash had to be Tina Kendall. Am I right? He and his roommate both had a relationship with her at the same time. So,
God, I do believe they're all lined up out there. Ooh, I want to be.
Best characteristic.
Someone else start your car tomorrow.
Best characteristic, without a doubt, is loyal to his friends. If anyone says a cross word about you in his presence, he'll make sure he shuts him up. Worst thing is, he's a mooch. Sorry, Mom Houston, but he is a mooch.
Oh, world's worst.
He learned that early.
Back when,